Welcome to Sexuality. What if someone comes out to me? From the Rainbow Diversity Institute. We're a Black-owned company that assists in developing comprehensive diversity training strategies for individuals and corporations alike. You can learn more about us at rainbowdiversityinstitute.ca. One of the questions we get pretty regularly when we're working with folks around sexuality and sexual orientation is, what the heck am I supposed to say when someone comes out to me? There's the idea and the understanding that this is a big deal, a big moment, and it does matter how you respond for sure. So what can you do to make sure that you respond well? Well, a queer person might say back, "Congratulations." It's usually a really big compliment, and it means that they want to be able to trust you. So let's dive into what that means and what that looks like. First of all, it's important to have an understanding of what coming out is. In this video, we're talking about coming out around sexuality, so sexual orientation or identity, but the phrase coming out can be used for a whole lot of other things, including gender identity and lots more than that. But for this video, we'll focus on sexuality. Coming out means telling someone else, usually someone that you know or assume is straight or heterosexual, that you're a sexuality other than straight. And you may have a specific title for that while you're coming out, a specific label, or you may just know that you're not straight and you're still trying to figure the rest of it out from there. In other words, coming out is talking about more than just your sexuality. It's talking about your identity, of which sexuality is a component. So why are they telling me their sexual preference? Why are they bringing this into my life? Well, let me stop you right there. Words like preference and orientation are unnecessary and hurtful. Every word has to earn its rent. They're just telling you about their sexuality. They're not telling you about their sexual preference. Words like preference imply that this is a lifestyle, a choice. There's a lot of baggage to words like preference and even to orientation. It's just your sexuality. These words are unnecessary and hurtful. These folks are coming out to you about a piece of their identity, which happens to be sexuality. So now that we've talked just a little bit about language, why do I need to know all of this stuff? Like the fact that the word preference can be hurtful. Well, it's because if someone's coming out to you, you may very well be straight, or they think that you are. Being straight is considered normal. It's valued in most, perhaps all, cultures and societies due to heterosupremacy. Whoa, I used a really big word there, not just because there's a lot of syllables, but because the word supremacy tends to make people nervous. Keep in mind that the word supremacy is really accurate here. It means a lot of different things, including that the preceding part, hetero, is considered normal, and normal means validated. It means healthy. It means encouraged. It means better. And so it is accurate to say that heterosupremacy is a big part of the world. In order to be recognized for who we are as LGBTQ or queer people, we have to announce it over and over again because of heterosupremacy and lots of other things. No matter how queer we might try to look, which not every queer person tries to do, by the way, we will be mistaken for straight or heterosexual people until we come out over and over again. Or folks will try to cure or fix us to help return us to the more privileged group of straight people, even though that's erasing us and isn't who we are, and is most definitely an act of violence. If you're a person who's considered within the realm of normal and acceptable around sexual orientation, meaning that you're a straight person or wanting to blend in as a straight person, whether or not you are, then it's important to recognize your privilege around this and that that has an impact on how you should respond when people come out to you. Okay, but what if you don't want to know who people are having sex with? Like, why is someone coming up to me telling me their their sexuality, and therefore just telling me who they like to bone? Well, you're likely already assuming people partner in heterosexual ways. Whether or not you sit and think about, I wonder if those two are sleeping together, you're probably assuming people's straightness just as a background thing. And you're probably comfortable with this assumption because of heterosupremacy. You likely see confirmation of this as romantic, such as in movies and commercials. That means that when you see people acting straight and demonstrating their straightness, it just blends into the world, or perhaps looks enticing and positive to you. This is about your own personal biases. In other words, you're already sort of aware of who you think people are having sex with. When someone lets you know their sexuality and comes out to you, your discomfort has more to do with your personal biases, because what they're telling you doesn't fit with how you think about the world so readily that it doesn't even seem like a big deal. Suddenly there's contrast. It's a big deal and you're uncomfortable. That means it's not about them wanting to tell you who they have sex with. Trust me, a lot of times they really hope people aren't thinking about that, because most people are hoping that others aren't looking at them and thinking about that. This is actually more about your own personal biases, and your discomfort is letting you know that these biases exist for you. Don't forget, coming out does include communicating who we are attracted to or not, but it's also about culture, community, identity, and much more. Like I said, the person who's coming out to you probably doesn't want you to know or ask about their sex life either. So they're talking about community, identity, and part of that is attraction and desire, who we want to spend our lives with, if anyone, who we want to go through this world with, if anyone, and letting you know this in order for you to have a better sense of who they are, the strengths that they have, and also the struggles that they face. They may also be tired of you making the wrong guesses and assumptions about them and feeling like they've been erased. So they're actually correcting the biases you're already demonstrating towards them, or hoping that they can correct that with you anyway. You may have a lot of questions when someone comes out to you. When someone comes out to you is probably not the time to be asking all of those and that information. You can do your own research using reputable, queer affirming sources right afterwards. When someone comes out to you, you may have a lot of wondering, what does this mean for me, for you, how we know each other? Instead, focus on the person who's taking this really huge risk when they come out to you, and on affirming the relationship that you have with them. You can ask these questions later if the person gives you permission to do so, but first go out and do your own research in directions that are affirming of their queer identity, not affirming of your pre-existing biases. So what should you do when someone comes out to you? First, thank them for trusting you. Affirm that you respect and care for them just like you have before. Ask them who you can tell, if anyone, and how you can tell those people, if you can. Remember, it's everybody's right to tell their own story, especially when it comes to our identities. So don't run around telling everyone else, even if you feel like it's being helpful, unless you've gotten that person's permission, who to tell, how to tell, when to tell, and don't be pushy about it. It's up to them. Let them know you'll do your own research. Thanks so much for telling me. I have a lot to learn about this. I'm going to go spend some time learning from good supportive resources so that you don't have to do all the teaching for me. I really appreciate your trust in me. And if there's anywhere you'd like me to start learning from, let me know. Otherwise, I'll find spots myself. And continue to be caring. They're the same person you always knew. It's just that you know them better than you used to. Be the same person they always knew, except know them better than you used to too. So this might look like, going in order from top to bottom on the slide, wow, thanks so much for telling me. I'm really touched and honored that you trust me with this information. You know, hopefully you already know this, but it's worth saying out loud. You're still the same person you were to me before. I'm just going to update these little bits of knowledge about you in my brain. I care about you and I respect you so much, and that hasn't changed. In fact, maybe it's increased a little bit. Is this something that I can speak openly about other people, about with other people, or with anyone at all? It's totally up to you who I tell and how. And you can come back and answer this to me later if you want. I know this is a big day to come out and let me know about this, and it's a lot of stress already. So I won't talk to anyone about it until you let me know that that's okay and how. And I'm going to go and do some research on my own about this, because I have a lot to learn and I care about you. And I know that learning about you and learning about this is a way of showing you that I respect and care about you. So, hey, I'll be here if you need anything. I might not know the answers or the right words to say, but I'm going to keep working on getting there. Hope that's helpful to you. Thank you for watching Sexuality. Oh, what if someone comes out to me from the Rainbow Diversity Institute? Well, I hope you'll come learn more about us at rainbowdiversityinstitute.ca.